Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. My name is JS, and I've got Hammer and Ascent here with me. Welcome back to episode 32 now of the Section 214 podcast. We're in a good mood
Pasta.
for it feels like the first time in forever, at least for me, is the BC Lions got a massive win last night at BC Place, 38-27 over the Ottawa REDBLACKS. They
Feels like
improved
I've
to
had five of those lately. Just
they improved to 6-7 on the season. That is their first victory since August 16th, so nearly a month.
Jesus.
A huge win to get them really solidify their spot, at least for now, in the crossover race, because we're recording this as Edmonton and Toronto are playing, and one of them is going to end up winning that game. So simply put, the Lions, have a lot to work on, but they came through in the clutch when they needed to and got a big, big, big win. I watched the whole game for the first time in a while. Maybe that's the key to success. I just have to sit and watch the entire game. So hopefully I can do that next week too.
yeah, and
Before we get into that, we have some birthdays to celebrate. First off, Ascent, happy birthday! Your birthday was on
the
last
six.
Saturday, and you had your birthday celebration on Sunday. So happy birthday!
Yeah,
Oh,
and for a birthday gift, you might notice that I'm wearing like a pretty special T-shirt for this occasion. And I was gonna say, and I said this in the short, like I have something to debut, like win or lose, and thankfully it's a win. So yeah, this is my own podcast kind of shirt, right? I got Section 214 and my username up here and the Lions logo, and then you got like the Moai doing this hang 10.
that's so sick. That's so
Yeah,
cool, man. I love
That
it.
just I just smiled when I saw it. I thought that was amazing. Such a
yeah,
Makes
thoughtful
me want to
gift.
get one of those.
Yeah, we
We'll
should
see
we
what
should
we
do
can
it. We should
do.
we should make them for each other sometime
Yeah.
when
yeah.
have to get like t-shirt
I was
transfers or something.
yeah, it's funny because I was thinking I was gonna get like a little Moai with the orange hoodie that I saw on Amazon a bit ago, but this is like the next best thing. This is yeah. I'm I'm gonna be wearing this fairly frequently, maybe definitely for bi-week episodes, and if it's not too cold for Valentine's Day episode, I will it then too. But
Custom made from our favorite viewers of the episode, your family, our families. But yes,
Big
that was a
supporters.
really
We really
awesome gift.
appreciate it. That's just amazing, amazing. And also the place where you went to eat and the birthday cake I heard you guys had. I wasn't able to make it,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but you had my favorite cake for your birthday, so I'm very happy that you were able to
yeah,
do that.
tuxedo cake from
It was
Costco.
so
So
good.
that yeah,
I will not stop
and
talking about it.
yeah, and hammering like you said that you're not much of a cake person, but that was like one of the
Mhm.
best cake you've ever had.
Yeah, shout
And
out to your mom for picking that. It's so good.
yeah, so I'll go-to birthday cake really for most of us, right? And yeah, I quite enjoyed that birthday dinner that we had on Sunday. I mean, that's funny. I got like $50 of Starbucks gift cards. I got my little sister and you two had like the same idea of getting me the
Yeah.
Spud Shack poutine cards, right? So I have se- I have $75 worth of poutine money on
Wow,
That's
lucky you.
insane.
That
yeah.
is so great.
They released Spudjack for years, and I'm
Uh,
sure you'll be using the next time we meet up at Douglas College. Um,
we're
it was,
set for poutines for like 3-4 years from now, right?
it was really special that we had the dinner at the Spaghetti Factory in New West because you led me to Douglas College, which was right up the road there, and it's really cool to meet your family. I had a great time. It was awesome getting to celebrate you.
Yeah, I mean, and it was a shame that you JS you couldn't attend it with us, but I'm hoping one of these days you'll get to attend a birthday party
Hopefully,
with
hopefully
either
in the
me
future,
or yeah, either
next
me or
year when I'm
Hammer.
back in Vancouver. That's the plan.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Just
yeah,
couldn't
that's what I
make it
was
work
just
this time, but that's all right. Next time.
next time.
Your
Uh,
your birthday gift
so
was being at the Lions game this last night, which was also pretty special. They got the win.
yeah, and I do want to that's actually a good segue into what I
Oh
want to talk
wow!
about,
I
right?
just have to interrupt. I'm following the Edmonton Toronto game. Toronto has just tied the game 27-27
Yes.
Whoa,
with
whoa!
3:25 to go. There must be an extra point coming up here. Let me just look at it.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
We got
this
some
is
live
this is like
action
a
on the
preview
podcast.
of
Let's go.
this is a preview of like a live streaming a game almost.
yeah, it's a touchdown for Toronto, so they'll kick the extra point, take the lead. Yeah, we'll have to do a live stream one day, but yeah.
How much
So there
time
you
is
go,
left?
Toronto. 3:25 in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
Okay, come on, hold
I
on.
could I could play the game on my phone right here.
They could just like
Oh, Edmonton is challenging. Okay, I will not give play-by-play. I'll chime in with important updates as needed.
yeah, yeah, just like yeah, just be our little Sports Center updater guy, right? That's so yeah, I guess yeah, I did hear that you were talking about that this game was a birthday gift for me, and yeah, for the most part I did enjoy it, but there were a couple things that I have complaints about, and I want to get those out of the way like pretty much right off the hop. For one thing, the first thing I want to talk about with that this does have to do with the football game. Yeah, it took forever to end in the fourth quarter.
Damn you,
Uh,
Ottawa, for that.
yeah,
That was
I could
such a
have been
slog.
home. Yeah, Ottawa just really wanted me to like stay up until 3 in the morning to write all those recap notes, right? Because I could have been here at 11, at least like 11 o'clock, and I would have like gotten to bed earlier. But Ottawa just really wanted to make, make me stay awake for this. But yeah, I did get a decent amount of sleep, thankfully. I mean, I got like 8 hours of sleep, so it's still pretty good. But damn you, Red Blacks. um, yeah, that's a bit of a yeah, that's minor complaint, but yeah, then another complaint, it's a little bit of a bigger one, but it's a relatively minor complaint again. But uh, my mom paid $20 for a special birthday message to put on a jumbotron, right? And and at halftime, because I was preparing my camera, like my phone camera. I was preparing to shoot it at the jumbotron. I was expecting the fan messages to be bigger on the jumbotron, but it was relegated to a sidebar. And not only was I unprepared for the message to be on the sidebar, my mom's message was the very first one to be on there. So I was not able to see it in time. Like it was like a very blink and you'll miss it kind of moment, right? And I was only able to see the word like Bella. And I pointed it out to Dad, and Dad missed it, like he couldn't see it at all, right?
Damn.
So
So sad, but
Wow.
that's
That's
such a
too
sweet
bad.
thought from your mom, and just hopefully maybe the Lions will hear this and they can make it right. But if not, it's just
yeah, I
unfortunate.
mean,
It's the thought that counts, I guess, right?
yeah, that's actually that's what my dad said too. Like it was the thought that counts for mom, right? I do,
I know, that's
thankfully,
so
I
cool that
do
they did
have
that.
yeah. Again, it's a shame that I wasn't able to, get like full bang for the buck. Like I wasn't able to see the message completely, but thankfully I do have the message on my phone. Hang on a second. Let me
I do want to say while you're looking through that, I do feel like they should take up the whole screen. I mean, as you said,
I
it's
agree with that.
halftime. So I feel like you'd expect that after paying for the message. But yeah, that's just unfortunate.
yeah.
Pretty bad timing
Yeah,
being
well,
first.
yeah. If the message was like third or fourth on the list, I would have been able to definitely see all of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do have the message here, so it's happy 30th birthday, Ascent, September 6th. May all your wishes come true. Love from your family and Bella. Right.
Oh,
Love it. Hope
that
with a
hits
wish
close
is
to
a great
home.
cup.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, Bella is my since passed dog 2 years ago. Um, Yeah, she passed away like moments after they beat the Calgary Stampeders in the playoff, which is actually coincidentally the last time I saw the Lions, won a game in person.
Oh,
And like I saw Bella, like in the name Bella, I met up with like a Pomeranian before the game. I saw 3 Pomeranians on my walk, so that's 100% Bella just like giving me like a very strong sign that she's
out there.
Yeah, she's wishing me a happy
Yeah,
birthday too.
That hits close to
um,
home
yeah,
for me too, as I
it
lost
does.
one of my dogs earlier this year. So I get it. If
yeah,
someone wrote that to me, I would probably cry.
yeah, I know. Rest in peace, Simon.
I want to ask you one more thing, um, kind of relating to the whole info system at BC Place, but I got an email a little while ago saying that they're making the whole sound system quieter, which is good because my dad and I, for the longest time, have thought that BC Place is way too loud and
mm.
he would be wearing earplugs. So I don't know if you noticed it being louder or quieter or
I, I,
anything.
I, I didn't. I mean, even though I'm an app hearing aid, so I'm not the right person
Oh,
to ask for that, right? But
that's right. Yeah.
I can't really
Yeah. So,
tell you if it's any louder or quieter. But I mean, it was still a struggle to talk with Dad during like the loud
mm,
moments. But I mean, that's kind of
yeah.
obvious, right? That. But yeah, also, I
I,
wanted to show off the pictures that you guys gifted me. Right, we got the podcast
yeah.
logo here and Touchdown Pacific. Also,
I love that
channel
one.
banner
That's
picture.
one of my all-time favorites for sure.
Yeah. And this was like before we had the podcast. This was like when the idea of the podcast kind of gestated. That's Simba
Mm.
in the Canucks jersey. They're supposed to be here, but cannot. And finally, we have our Douglas College. This
Yeah,
was
the most
my
recent
favorite.
one.
This
I
was
love
my
that.
favorite. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
I had the idea in mind. You got a good bit of space on your fridge. Have you ever wanted a nice place to put those?
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
and I also I put like the note that you guys wrote to me too. Like I wanted to. Well, we're a bit pressed for time, but I guess in our bye week I can probably read that. Just if anybody's curious or anything. But yeah,
Yeah.
again,
Last
all
thing I'll
around. All last thing you
last
want
thing
to
I'll
mention?
mention before gut check. We're pressed for time. Not really. We got a good amount of time. But if you notice what I'm wearing, I'm going to the Whitecaps game tonight. So hope
Yes.
for a big win.
Yeah, especially since you mentioned that your soccer team got killed, and I'm
Yeah,
going, well, can't have everything happy this time around.
yeah,
But
West Ham lost this morning because I spent the morning at Dublin Calling, which coincidentally is the Southsiders pub, but the Vancouver Hammer Supporters Club. We were out there. There's about 40 of us, and it was a good time, even though we got spanked. Um, but yeah, I had to get up early to go downtown, so that was one of the reasons I missed the Lions game last night, which is very rare. I think I'm gonna go to the Elimimian night later this year. I think that's good against Calgary,
yeah,
maybe the Toronto one, but we'll
Oh,
see.
that'll be in
that'd be awesome.
October
Yeah.
4th. Yeah, a few weeks from now.
Yeah, and I was
Cool.
also going to say, like, this is actually, I think this is the first time in our podcast where I'm the one that's going to the game solitarily, and you two are staying at home, right? Because normally
Hmm.
it'd be, Hamo, you're going to the game, but thankfully I didn't have to, open up my phone. Like, you didn't ask me any questions, like the challenge during the commercial break. Like, there was none of that happened, so that's good. I didn't have to, drain my battery just to, just to say
Yeah,
something's going on, right?
I
it was
was
mostly.
hesitant to text in there during the game because I pay for a separate subscription to TSN. We don't have cable here, so my stream of the game is a few minutes behind. So I'm hesitant to type in that chat because I
Oh,
don't want to get spoiled. And
Yeah, good
that's
call.
I don't feel like listening to I do have a little portable radio that I can listen to, but I don't want to do
Oh,
that
that
if I
is
have a subscription.
wow, that's a blast in the past. I probably would have had one of those. I had an MP3 player when I was a teenager too, so it's
Well,
too
when
expensive
my
nowadays.
as a protest against Sportsnet because they raised their prices for their subscriptions so much. When my yearly subscription expires in January, I'll probably be listening to most of the games on the radio because yeah, it's expensive. They
That's yeah,
raised the price like thirty
sucks.
percent or something.
yeah.
Boo.
Well, boo Sportsnet, please lower your prices.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess I covered, most of my game experience. I mean, I was happy they won. Like, it was a relatively stressful win. I mean, and talked a little bit about our birthday experience, and then and then soon to come birthday experience of UJS later later on in the week. But
Yep.
yeah, let's get into not further ado. Let's get into gut check. I mean, this is like I said, this was like our fifth big win big season-saving win out of 6, because the 6th one was literally the 1-0 win against Edmonton. Because
Oh.
just every win is just it's massive, right? Like, and we can't have a win where it's like that. Like, yeah, it's good that we won, but we don't need to win. No, every game is like we absolutely 100% need to win this, or else we're done.
especially at
It's
this stage of the
won the
season.
table mode. Yeah, won the table mode for half the league, right?
It's
Um,
crazy.
and
Especially where we are.
yeah, well, we're on the
Oh
standings.
my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah,
It's 30 to 28 for the Elks with a minute 14 to go.
Wow.
come on,
What is that
Toronto.
game? The Toronto still's got a possession now, do they?
They do, yes.
Wow.
Okay. Okay, well, I guess then, well,
Who are we
and then
cheering for to win that game?
Toronto, because
Yeah, I guess so.
yeah,
Well, we'll have to see what happens.
Because Edmonton's going to be a direct threat. Like, even though we've won the season series with them, we're still
There's
threatening
still a
to.
head-to-head. There's still a head-to-head game in October.
Yep, and they can
That if
absolutely
they win
send
and
us
finish
down.
ahead of, yeah, if they win and finish ahead of us in the standings, this head-to-head doesn't matter.
Yep,
What if I put the game on
and
my phone when I watch the final there?
yeah,
Let's
so
go.
yeah, I
Something
guess
happens.
I do want to say for the gut check for this win against Ottawa, that was, yeah, like I said, 5th big win and a slew of them, and it's pretty much, I'd say the defense played better in some aspects, and then there was like little Benavides oh god, don't collapse moments in this game where I went I'm kind of lucky that BC built up like a decent, like even more of a lead than they had the previous one. Because I think the last time it was like a 2 possession. This was 3 possessions, and I guarantee you, had BC blown this lead, I was all ready to go on the steps of BC Blaze and to start chanting Fire Benavides. But his job is safe for now. My voice is
Or not?
conserved, right? I don't have to do that.
I called for his job a few weeks ago, and I'm reiterating that. I think the metaphor that I would use is, eventually, if you play, I don't know, it's a good example. If you play a dice rolling game, eventually the dice is going to roll your way, and that's what happened today. The Lions keep playing with fire, playing these shootout style games. I'm just looking at their record. So many games they've been involved in are really, really high scoring games. They haven't been involved in a low scoring game really since the first game of the season. And by low scoring in that game, I meant 48 points were scored. So like
Yeah, combined.
they've been playing with fire the whole season, and occasionally the bounces are gonna go your way, and that's what happened today, or not
Yeah,
today, last
especially
night.
I'd say especially I think the TSN, if you want to call it a turning point, I call it I think the moment where I felt like relatively confident that we were going to win that game was the fumble return for the touchdown, right?
I
Yeah,
was so hyped.
Yeah, and yeah,
when
and I
it went
guess
up to
another
38-13, that was in the early in the third quarter. But even then, I was still worried because
yeah, I was
Ottawa
yeah,
got a
believe,
touchdown, surprise onside kick, right?
and then they got they got a touch. Well, I even know that like every time Ottawa scored a touchdown, it also came off the backs of like major fouls on the defense as well. So that like
The penalties are still an issue for the
same
Lions,
issue,
even if they got away with it today.
and they got away with it for the most part. In fact, I was surprised that the penalty number there it was actually Ottawa had more penalties than BC in this game. I thought I like double checked and went, wait, that can't be right. It doesn't feel like that.
Sarcastic cheering. We finally won the penalty battle.
Yeah, and won the
About our offense, I don't think there's much else we have to say about them other than they are still elite. 30 points
Yep,
for 6 straight games. Um, the defense, there were some very good individual performances. We'll get to that in the statistics. One of
yep.
them, most notably, is Betts with 4 tackles and 4 sacks.
Just
I thought
fantastic.
Crum was not on his game today.
No,
And
no,
he
no,
was
no.
getting
Quam
bullied
was
around.
on it.
He was
Yeah,
he was
Quam
he was
was.
pretty crummy.
No,
There was
I
no
was gonna
Crum
say,
back.
well, Well, I was no crumb back, thankfully, and and I got home. I watched the broadcast back, and Dustin Nielsen and they were the commentators. They were wanting Ottawa to come back in this game like so bad,
I
right? I was
know.
like, shut up, right?
That
One-sided
was so
commentary.
infuriating.
Just, I know you guys had to watch it, but then like me, it took until like 2 a.m. I I was like restricting my. I didn't want to shout "shut up" at the TV because I forgot. Oh wait, they won that. Wait, I was in like present day mode where I was going, shut up, stop this comeback nonsense, and thankfully they did. But
I'll
uh,
redact my statement after reading the stats because it's a very conflicting stat line for Ottawa's offense, which is
yeah,
we'll,
everything was
we'll talk
weird.
about.
Well, there was weird things about this game, and and also when I put the stats down after the end of the game, special teams, McGee has gone back to his like really bad habits, and
Are they
we'll get
really
to that.
have? I was going to say, are they really habits or just a feature at this point? I would say it's a
Yes.
feature rather than a bug.
Yeah,
Not just him, but the whole unit. Like he's not. I'm not placing all the blame on him. He's like the entire unit has been weak for multiple years now and continues to be this year.
yeah, in terms of special teams defense, it wasn't that bad, but yeah, in terms of like the offensive special teams potential, it's like it's back to low totals again.
I
But
keep
I
having these
think
delusions that we're going to win. Since I occasionally shop at Save On, I'm going to win the $1 million touchdown to win because I scan my more rewards card every time. Keep having these delusions that the BC Lions are going to win me $1 million. That is not going to happen this year.
no, it already happened to a guy from New Westminster, so
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
could have happened, but nah. Yeah, the one time
so
ever.
yeah,
Even the $200 gift card for a touchdown would have been nice, but they gave it to some retired lady in Parksville. Why does she need it? Give it to me.
I know we're facing a financial
oh,
crisis.
oh, okay, Robin Hood, calm down. uh, so yeah, let's get into the statistics for this game, and yeah,
Hilarious
the
gut
last
check.
yeah, yeah, great gut check, and yeah, I
We're
think
all in a better mood and actually cracking jokes and having fun rather than just
yeah, we're cracking
actually
jokes,
being miserable.
hey, yeah, we're cracking jokes. We're like, enjoying each other's birthdays, like one that was past and
Yeah,
one yet to come. Right?
this was actually
Oh,
the first win since my birthday on August 16th, so a lot of birthday swings
Impressive.
around.
Shouldn't
birthday
have
All
had to
right, my
wait
stuff.
that
Yeah.
stats.
long.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So I guess yeah. So I'll start with the BC stats. And last time I went with the Ottawa stats, so that was This is happy with stat. Well, it continues to be happy stats for the offense at least because Nathan Rourke, Nathan Rourke went the entire first half with only one incompletion.
Pause.
Toronto
Harlahu
has
is about
won.
to take. Yep.
Disqualified
Game-winning field
Toronto
goal
win
from Toronto.
Okay,
31 to
pause.
30.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh yeah, did Toronto win?
Yeah,
Toronto has
31
won
to
the
30.
game.
31 to
Yes.
30.
Thank you, Argos. I can't believe I'm saying that again
There we
because
go.
yes. Oh, we might get to. I'll have to
My
cut
phone
that out a
away.
little bit because I don't want
Again.
TSN to copyright strike us. But
Whoops,
No.
my bad. Better timestamp
uh,
that.
I'll edit that out a little bit and then I'll say okay. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, here's stats. I was saying that Nathan Rourke went the entire first half with only one incompletion, which is incredible. Like he was
Wow.
on fire in this game, like because he went 21 for 26 for 308 yards. That's another 300 plus yard game for him. It's eighth from the season. One touchdown, no interceptions, and 12 average per throw, as long as it's 51. And he also tacked on 36 rushing yards and 5 carries and 2 rushing touchdowns, and longest with 18. And I think that longest one, like he escaped a sack and then he ran to the right side. That was the one, right? That was yeah, he was all world,
He's
all
gonna break the
um
record for most yards as a Canadian quarterback, isn't he? He's on pace for that.
very close to Wes Jackson from Oh Man, the 1969. So I saw that in the broadcast too. So
Once in a generation player, and he's
yeah, well,
ours.
what's for the generation lion? It's
Yeah.
Lule was great for us in 2011, and then injuries kind of hampered him. But yeah, like this is completely different beast of a quarterback we have, right? And yeah, pretty much did very well in this game. But running back stats, Butler only had 13 carries for 44 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 yards on average, and 12-yard one was his longest. Then he also added on 2 catches for 18 yards. So, fairly pedestrian game from him, like 3 yards on average. Like he can do better than that, but yeah. Ottawa's secondary was just getting shredded so badly. Right. So I can give a little pass on Butler for that because the passing game was working so tremendously well against that secondary, right? Don't need to run as much when why stop doing what's good for the team, right? Also at Pickett, the fullback, had 1 catch for 11 yards. I will always shout out fullbacks on the show, even if it's
That's a name you don't hear often catching a ball. It was pretty funny to see that.
Yeah, and for the receivers, Hatcher had 5 catches on 5 targets for 97 yards. So it was 3 yards away from another 100-yard game for him. That was
He's elite.
1
51 yards,
touchdown.
longest catch.
Yeah, 19 average in his longest catch. Yeah, the 51-yarder. He went all the way up to the 1, and I thought it was going to be gone, right? And he just got short of the goal line on that one. So I was hoping he would have 2 there, but unfortunately, no. McInnes had 4 catches on 4 targets for 73 yards, 0 touchdowns, 18 on average, and his longest is 23. Good day for him again. And Katoy had 5 catches on 7 targets for 59, no touchdowns, and a 12 of average, and his longest is 17. Aberhart didn't have as much of an impact today, but again, didn't need him to be a deep threat today at all because he only had 3 catches on 4 targets for only 38 yards. And
Or just lowering a bit.
Yeah, no touch. Yeah, his average is lowering because his average in this game was 13. His longest catch was 18. So yeah, it's a kind of long stretch where you'd only get 2 or 3 catches for 100 yards, right? That seems to be slowing down a bit, but
well, he's gonna have ebbs and flows through the year, as long as it doesn't lead to anything drastic. I'm not too worried with 1 or 2 bad games here or there.
Well, not bad games, but just less impactful games than the others. But
it's true. He's raised the standards for himself this year.
Yeah, I mean, again, I just find him so funny when he only gets massive yards for a low amount of catches, right? Almost every game, but and Barry Hill only had the 1 catch on 3 targets for 12 yards, so he was limited pretty well. But I think in that 1 catch it was the first down pretty much. So yeah, they all chipped in their own way. Now defense. I'm gonna start with the praise here because I literally thought we would never see this kind of stat again this year for the rest of the year, but we got 7 sacks.
7 sacks.
4 from Betts and 1 each from Woods,
shocking.
Williams, and a newcomer named Anai, right? Just coming off the practice squad and getting his first career sack. That's
good for him.
That is pretty much showing up your critics, right? and us by extension. Yeah. I mean, I don't expect him to get 5, 7 sacks every game, but that was in the sack department, that was emphatically a flipping the bird to the defensive critics of the team, right? Including us. And we accept that because we like winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, no interceptions though, so no crazy one-handed interception like what Carter Jr. did. 1 fumble return for a touchdown. That was also Deontay Williams. So Williams had a pretty impactful game on defense, got a sack and a fumble return for a touchdown.
First time in a while we've said that. Yeah.
Yeah. And also added a turnover on downs, but I think that was probably late in the game when it was garbage time. But Woods also had the most tackles on the team with 8. Bell and Bully had 6. and the rest of the team with less than 4. So Michael Alway, he's very often, on the top of a tackle leaderboard, but I think he only got like 2 today. So
A lot of
That's
guys
more
filling
than
in.
but double digits for bets between tackle and sacks, which that's just an unreal
insane work ethic.
performance because
Yeah.
an average game has 120 or so plays. So that means like 1 out of every 12 plays, he was the reason it ended, which
It
is
ended
just
up.
like unreal.
So good. That's why we brought him
Yeah.
back.
That's why he's my favorite defender, right? It's he had that a pretty slow start, but once he gets going, I mean, man, he's kind of hard to stop. But yeah, and for me getting the special teams, Sean White didn't have much to do. He only kicked the 1 field goal and went 5 for 5 on extra points, but that was important, especially if the extra point department, because yeah, if it was like 5 less extra points, then it would have been like a 33-27 win. That would have been a lot more, tense. But yeah, those 5 points were key for us, holding on. Well, I would say like hold on, but it was more like, the fourth quarter were like, okay, I can breathe here, right? um, Meyer for the punter, he only had 2 punts in his game, which I didn't like
That's
con it. It didn't like, it didn't occur to me that there was very few punts for BC. I guess with the way the offense is rolling, it's just, the punter is kind of just
chilling. It's a
getting a
good
lot of
stat to
rest.
have.
Yep. Only had the 2 punts and the average 38 yards. So yeah, just I think the first punt the BC offense did was just like, late in the third quarter too. So yeah, it was again just another indicator of how great the offense was playing, right? And yeah, I mean I mentioned like earlier McGee back to bad habits, or as you said, JS, it's like it's a feature of the special teams. Apparently, McGee only had 4 return catches on special teams, 3 punt returns for a total of 10 yards, and 1 kickoff for 17 for a total of 27 yards.
But
And he was
that's a good thing.
averaging.
Honestly, he had so few plays in the game, like only 3 punt returns. Or wait, no, you
Oh,
misunderstand. Sorry, I read it wrong. The fact that Meyer only had 2 punts was good. I misunderstood. My
yeah.
apologies. Too much Diet Coke.
Um. Yeah. So and then yeah, Cardo got like the 1 kickoff return for 24 yards, and
That's
yeah,
pretty good. Can't complain about that. But McGee is just not good. I'll put it that way.
yeah. Uh, I guess you guys can do the Ottawa stats. Although, hang on a second. Okay, sorry guys, that was a little bit of a cut there. I noticed that we were hearing like a little buzzing noise that was coming from JS, so I had to get that
We're
fixed a
back.
little bit. But
Yep, the
yeah,
Yeah.
audio issues. Oh well.
let's get into the Ottawa stats now. And yeah, there, there's some. Boy, am I glad not to see Ottawa again after, especially with a certain quarterback, right? Just
Yeah,
Crumb.
just
I
the
thought
way the
like the
media was like
minds
fawning over him. They used to fawn this way over Nathan Rourke, and I thought it was annoying then. Now they're fawning over somebody else, and it's even more annoying because it's not us.
because
Yeah.
because of the Crumback thing, right?
Exactly.
It's all over the Senators Discord too. So I had to hear that all last week, and I'm going like, did it have to
It
happen
was
to my
brutal.
team? But yeah, yeah, Crumb has had to combine like 600 plus passing yards against the defense, right? That's crazy. Two
What an
games.
amazing way to boost his confidence.
Oh, an amazing way to boost his salary. Yeah.
Literally.
Hmm. He's got a career as a starter ahead of him. Um, I want to redact my statement saying he had a not great game because he went 30 for 35 with 307
Yeah.
yards, 1 touchdown, averaging 9 per throw, longest being 25 yards, 58 rushing yards on 9 carries, and 2 TDs, averaging 6, and his longest being 15. This despite 7 sacks, with his O line letting him down, and also our defense being really good this game.
Much better this game, yeah.
That was
Yeah,
still a fantastic game for him.
really good for standards
But
for
no
defense.
comeback this time, thank goodness.
No crumb back.
No, and
Right,
no, and if we were not family friendly, we would have named it like a lot more. We would have named it a lot more. We would have had like a lot more of a vulgar title to this game, but nope.
we kept it in the group chat. Running back Adibaboye can finally pronounce his name. 5 carries on 28 yards, averaging 6, longest being 15, and 3 catches on 3 targets for 23 yards. Uh, Addison and Hardy combined for 5 yards on 3 carries,
I wanted to put
and
that
on the
in
two
there.
wide receivers. Yeah, and Will Stanback, former Lion, 2 carries for 1 yard, and 3 catches on 3 targets for
Yeah,
18 yards.
there was a reason why I put the 2 wide receivers because I was shocked. That was like the first thing that shocked me when I saw the Ottawa stuff. Like, how is Stamback only getting 1 yard? On two
Literally.
What
carries.
happened to him, man? Stanback was a very confusing player last season. He would go off for 100 yards some game and completely ghost the game after.
Yeah, well, I mean that also tells me that Bob Dice doesn't have faith in his running game, and it's always.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was. I mean, I kind of got it in the second half where he was determined to do all passing all the time, but the first half they really could have used more rushing, right? But yeah, they're
Oh,
just
yeah.
committing to passing so much, right? Uh,
Um, on wide receiver,
in
Addison,
passing,
11 catches for 13 yards passing, uh, for 132 yards, averaging 12, longest catch for 25. So solid game
When
for
they're in
him.
the heat today.
Hardy had 9 catches on 10 targets for 100 yards. So 200-yard performances on passing, on receiving for the Red
the
Blacks. I was about to say the
receivers.
Senators. Good Lord.
Oh,
1 touchdown for him.
I would have been sad. I would have been sad if the Senators
I
lost to the Lions.
don't know. I'm having too much fun this episode, so like keep my brain in check. Keelan White, 2 for 2 for 21 yards. Pimpleton, 1 catch for 11 yards. Thank God he didn't go
That's
off like he
another
did.
surprise, though. He only had like the 1 catch and 11
Yep.
yards.
His last game, he won the game for Ottawa. That
By
deep
him,
bomb at the
almost
end.
by himself, yeah, pretty much, yeah. And then
Yeah,
yeah, just obviously like the film with the film study, like Benevides, I imagine he was just like, yeah, see that Pimpleton guy? Stop him, would you please? Would you kindly?
didn't didn't take an expert to figure that out. I don't think Benavides is much of an expert at all.
No,
Lewis, 1 catch for
Gino
11 yards.
Lewis.
You could have
That's another surprise
copy
again.
pasted
Yeah,
copy pasted Pimpleton's stat line. So it was another one to look out for. On defense, Jacob, you wanna
I can handle that. Not a lot to get excited about from their defense. Thankfully, they had 1 sack from Adarius Pickett, no interception, no fumbles, and 1 turnover on downs. I don't remember when that was. Was that at the end of the game? The Lions were
yeah,
just
that was
kneeling it
at the
out.
yeah, that was at the end of the game probably, but game week it'll be sorted out.
And then for sacks, Shakur Brown had for tackles, Shakur Brown had 9 tackles, Lamont had 6, and Santos Knox had 5. Everybody else under 4. And then special teams, Ward was perfect, 2 field goals, 1 extra point. And then former BC Lion Richie Leone had 3 punts, averaging 46 yards. His longest was 49. He did not hit the jumbotron with any of them, so well
No,
done.
Ben Major was in with a referee too, so that's why you mentioned that.
That would have been
I love
very
Ben
funny had
Major.
that happened. He's my favorite referee by far. And then
Agreed.
with the kick returns, Pimpleton had 8 returned catches, 2 punt returns for 10 yards, and 6 kickoff returns. I love seeing that many kickoff returns for the other team because that means we scored a
Yep.
lot of touchdowns. He had 6 kickoff returns for 94 yards, and his longest run was 24, and his longest punt return was 9. And finally, the penalties were relatively clean for both teams in this game. Ottawa had 5 penalties for 28 yards, and BC had 4 for 55, so he had more yards, but
Yeah, but it was
fewer
the way. Yeah,
penalties.
so it was the way BC took those penalties and the timing of those that were still like really. It's rife for criticism even then, right?
Yeah, made the
So so
fouls.
so BC won the penalty battle in terms of like the frequency of it, but in terms of the actual content of the penalties, we lost on that. But
And then finally, the time of possession, Ottawa had 33-54. BC had 26-06. You almost have an 8-minute difference there. But the BC
yeah,
Lions were efficient when they had the ball, so it didn't matter.
yeah, there was a couple of touchdown drives where well, and there was one in particular. It took like three plays, 4 plays. That was it. Right? Took 2 minutes and they're in the end zone already, right? So that's and that I guess that's kind of an example of a game where I mean, yeah, it's just you outscore your opponent so badly that time of possession doesn't really matter, right? If it's at least certainly by the third quarter, but yeah, so yeah, let's just that's it for the statistics. Let's get into the game recap. And yeah, as I said before, like I was at the game and then I had to go home and watch the game over and then type all this out, right? So I put a lot of work in this
Yeah.
today.
Well,
I'm
we
like
appreciate all that.
late shifting this one, but that's probably the last time I'm going to be staying up until like 3, 4 in the morning to write this down. But we'll see.
We're recording afternoon, so you got a lot of time to rest, which is all good.
Yeah. Well, I'm not feeling tired right now. I got like a decent amount of rest, so uh yeah, so I'll put here so before the game started there was a moment of silence for Ted Cavea, general manager of the Tiger Cats, and also formerly a coach on the UBC Thunderbirds football team as well. So that's why he got especially a moment of silence here, because the very much UBC Thunderbird legend around there, right? So
Yeah,
rest
rest in
in peace,
peace.
Ted.
After a 3-month battle with cancer, it was very heartbreaking. So send our condolences to his family and all the CFL teams impacted around that. So
Yeah,
very sad.
and also the coaching staff and the Lions were also wearing Team Ted shirts as well, I noticed. So yeah, it's just as someone who's also had like a close family member been dealing with cancer like that coach especially, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's tragic. And then yeah, I guess and after that I put down both teams are still like consistently inconsistent with their records. So yeah, both teams are at like very sub 500 teams. So I didn't know what to expect in this one, even in person. And of course, Lions are in their gunmetal gray alternate jerseys, and I was wearing that jersey to the game, right? But it was the
I
Reebok
love
version.
those jerseys. They're one of my favorites. They really look amazing. It reminds me of those black jerseys they had 7 or 8 years ago that they used to wear, which I also thought were pretty amazing. So
That was the
very,
Reebok
very
ones.
happy.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Very, very
The
happy with the choice.
Yeah, that was the jersey I usually wear for wins, but yeah, I'm glad that they kind of like unintentionally wanted to wish me a happy birthday as well by wearing essentially the same jersey that I was, right?
So sick.
um, yeah, and then Ottawa won the coin toss, and they decided to take the opening kickoff, which is a curious choice. Like usually teams would prefer to defer to the second half, but yeah, they were being very aggressive, and yeah, I think they almost proved their decision to be right, because after Pimpleton took the opening kickoff to the 23, on the first play of the drive, like Crum nearly scored like an immediate touchdown pass. Like he threw it deep to Acuna Vanu, kind of a long name to pronounce, but yeah, he overshot him, right? And it could have been like immediately 7-0 Ottawa, like in the first play of the game, right? So I imagine that I actually know I admire that aggressiveness to go for that, considering how badly the defense played last time. But yeah, didn't work. And then after that, Crum got sacked for a loss of 9 by Bet. So that's the first of 4 sacks. I'm like, oh yeah, that's that's exactly what they needed.
That one felt good.
Oh, and yeah, so 2 and out, like okay, like one business here, and then McGee returns to punt backwards, gets to the BC 45. Uh, so first drive of the game for the Lions offense, Katoy converts on a first down catch for 16, and then McInnes converts and avoids he avoids Priester's tackle, and then he hurdles over an Ottawa defender on a first down catch for 20+ yards. And I noticed that there was like 3 or 4 times in this game where BC Lions players were hurdling in this game. Like, I would have named this probably super Hatcher brothers or something, right? Something along those lines for jumping, right? That's the first of the few hurdles. Butler runs to the left side for 7, and then Pickett converts on a second down catch on the left side for 13 yards. DPI is called on Priester for interfering with Hatcher on an admittedly a pretty weak call.
Yeah,
right?
there was not much there. If they had not called it on the field and BC challenged, it wouldn't have gotten reversed. So Lions get pretty fortunate on that one.
Or yeah, we kind of need. I mean, we didn't need that DPI, but I didn't think we need that DPI. But BC's offense still made it a little bit hard on himself. Like, yeah, I even mentioned in the group chat, like, they went short yardage. Mazzoli on first down, he nearly fumbled it on the snap, but he got it back. Like, oh, please don't turn this over. Second down. Didn't work, and then Butler. It took Butler Superman leaping over the D line to just break the plane with the ball to get the touchdown. I'm like, that was like way harder than it needed to be.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking.
So yeah, they eventually got the touchdown, but man, that was like a nervous moment for me, Bill. Yeah, took the lead 7-0. Like, okay. Good start, and then Pimpleton returns to the next kickoff to do 32, but then a holding call pushes them back to the 22. Howdy converts on a first down catch for 13 yards, and then Addison converts on a quick first down strike for 10. Howdy catches, and he makes a great effort to convert for 10 yards on first down. So it was like stopped at the 5-yard point, and then he just kept running and running, and he got that first down by himself, right? Crum runs for 9 yards, but then there's an illegal contact on Stone that converts Ottawa anyways. Kind of funny that there's like a player named Stone on BC playing against Ottawa now. Right?
Stone.
The return of Mark
Mark
Stone.
Stone.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. So the illegal contact converts Ottawa anyways, but then they only managed to go 5 yards further, gets Clem flows incomplete on second down. It forced Lewis to kick Lewis Ward to kick a 47-yard field goal to lessen the BC lead to 7-3. And then in the broadcast, like I wanted to mention here that Work and Crum actually faced each other in college before. That was Work was on like the Ohio State team, the Ohio team, and then Crum was on Kent State. So that's like a fun little college connection there. So obviously Work's got like the upper hand in terms of the battle between him and Crum in their careers. So a little bit, but Work converts for a 7-yard run on second and short, and then the broadcast also mentioned that Work is now 300 yards away from being the top Canadian quarterback in total yards in a season. So, like, he's very close to being like the number one Canadian quarterback in a season for passing yards. He's gonna get it.
He is gonna get it.
Gonna beat like a what? How many years ago was that in 1969? That was like
56.
56 years ago.
Damn.
Yeah. He's gonna break that. Hopefully we get to see it at home, but pretty good chance he will. So yeah, Butler runs up the middle to convert on second down for 9 yards. Work avoids being sacked. Oh yeah, this was one of the amazing Work highlights. Right, he avoids being sacked and he scrambles to convert for 22 yards on the right side.
I was literally out of my seat on that one. That was shades of that 61-yard Travis Lulay play in the 2011 West Final.
Yeah, exactly. I was going, oh, that's just there's oohs and ahs that the crowd was just showering praise upon that player. It was just and yeah, that huge second down conversion was like massive, because then like the play after that, Hatcher then fights off defenders after catching at the 7, and then he dives into the end zone extend the lead to 14-3. And here I'm still like, but we had a 14-3 lead before. Still a good start. Still not over, and then Pimpleton returned the kickoff to the Ottawa 42. And then on the final play of the quarter, after BC called the timeout, I actually noticed this as it was happening. Like I saw Benavides, he was screaming at the defense to like stop the it was a wonky substitution, right? It was probably going to be too many men on the field.
Benavides is so animated,
Yeah,
so old school.
But that's ultimately, that's on him if something like that happens. And I'm still of the belief that unless it's at the end of the game, take the penalty rather than waste a timeout over something like that. I am very much in favor of not burning timeouts to save yourself from penalties. But in the end they won, so it didn't matter. But there's my little clock
yeah, it's a
management tip for the day.
little bit of a nitpick. Well, and it happened at the end of the first quarter as well. So I mean, it could have taken.
It didn't really save you any time either. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, but there was a time for another play because after the timeout, Betts did sack Crum for a loss of 3, but then a misconduct. So I think the sack counted for Betts, but there was a misconduct call that forced Ottawa up 15 yards. And then I wasn't sure what it even was. I was like replaying that moment over and over. I was like thinking, where was the misconduct? I didn't see it.
Maybe it was something that was said. That could be what it was.
I was so mad about that because, as I said in the last episode, there are so many unnecessary penalties. That's a misconduct. Like, we had them out there, but then gave them a first down, gave them 15 yards. It was so infuriating.
Yeah, I was also saying that Ben Major, well, I mean, when he called that misconduct foul, he didn't even give the number of the player who was doing that. Like, I was looking all over, like, what happened? Right? What? This, okay. Okay, so second quarter, I guess I'll read the first half and then, Hamo, you can do the second half. But second quarter, Crum darts a first down conversion pass over the middle to Addison for 12 yards. And then he also finds Hardy for a 14-yard conversion to get into the red zone. And then on second down, Crum runs onto the B gap of the in the O-line to convert barely for 6 yards, and then predictably scored the short yardage touchdown and caps off an 8 out of 10 passing drive from Crum. Like he was on it in this one. And then it shortened BC lead to 14-10, and then shoot.
You thought the comeback was starting earlier in this one, but it didn't happen in the end.
Oh yeah, let's go on. Oh yeah, at this point I'm thinking, okay, this just might be like another back and forth 35-32 game. Right? I was almost that way, but just it could have been that game by the time the fourth quarter rolled around. But anyways, yeah, McGee returned the kickoff to the BC 44, and then the funny thing is, like, the Trailer Park Boys were shown both in the broadcast and on the jumbotron. There was Bubbles and Randy were there. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure you guys haven't watched it.
That was pretty strange.
So he was in the suite with Mar Doman at one point.
Yeah, that was such a surreal thing, considering I've watched a few like Trailer Park Boys episodes a few years ago. I mean, it's a very old show. It's like a 20-plus-year-old show, right? And it's still got its it's still very relevant up here. But yeah, I thought it was kind of funny. It's a very vulgar show. Like, do not let your kids watch that show. It's a very silly dark comedy, right? Yeah. Anyways, so after the Trailer Park Boys were shown on the jumbotron, we were all like hooting and hollering about that. And Barry Hill converts on a curl route pass on second down with 12 yards, and then Hatcher catches at the inside target and nearly takes it to the house. Yeah, this is like an amazing Hatcher play that he nearly took it to the house, but then he got tackled at the 1 with 51-yard pass.
He should get credit for, like, if not statistically, morally, he should get credit for the touchdown, because that was all him.
You should get style points. A style touchdown. Yeah, but yeah, thankfully the short yardage team, they didn't have as hard of a time scoring a touchdown as they did like the last time. So they extended the lead to 21-10 with a 4-play drive. That was work running it in as well. So I thought, like, my dad made it a point of criticism, was going like, hey, yeah, hey, you work at the highest paid quarterback in the league, trust him to do some short yardage stuff too. And then I guess they heard his calls, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, 21-10, and all of us are obviously we're still not out of the woods yet, right? We're just because we're terrified, we're paranoid. Pimpleton returns the kickoff to the Ottawa's 37, and then Crum threw behind Addison. Like, he threw him behind Addison pretty well, but then, Addison made the adjustment pretty quickly and caught the tough catch anyways and converted for 15 yards on second down. Then he converted on a run for 12 yards on first down, and then Addison converts on a pass wide open on the right side of the field for 12 yards out of bounds. Crump had hit Crum avoided the sack he had his work moment here. He avoided a sack by Williams and throws it to Addison to convert for 15 to get in the red zone. And then after an injury timeout for a BC defensive lineman, Cherry, I'm pretty sure he should be okay, but we'll see. Ottawa prevents delay of game by calling a timeout. So both teams kind of spent timeouts like unnecessarily to, rectify their mistakes. Right? It was.
Which I hate it when the Lions do it, but when Ottawa does it, I'm like, sucks to be you. I'm glad it happened. I know I'm happy when the other team does that.
Yeah, good. And especially when at that point in the field, like, they're very much in scoring position there, right? But yeah, after the timeout, Kent nearly picked Crum off on first down in the end zone, but Betch sacks Crum with no penalty flag on the field. Like, I'm looking for a flag. Okay, good. No penalty. Good. So if they forced Ward to kick the easy field goal to shorten the lead to 21-13. But on BC's ensuing drive, Work gunned the conversion pass to McInnes over the middle for 23 yards, and then before the 3-minute warning, Aberhart, that's the second hurdle. He hurdles over an Ottawa defender after the catch and converts for 18 yards. And then after the 3-minute warning, Work throws his first, like this was the first incompletion of the game, and it's only incompletion of the first half, like this late in the second quarter, right?
And that wasn't even really his fault. It was just a deflection.
Yeah, the deflected, like it was deflected immediately, and it went up and in the air for a little bit, and I was scared that
So that's
somebody
just a fluke, basically. Not really
yeah,
his
I
fault.
was scared somebody was going to pick that one up, but thankfully it flew down to the ground harmlessly. So yeah, after that incompletion, Work gets right back into business and throws it to Gatoy, who converts it, and he also did another hurdle, so everybody's got the jumps today. After a second down pass on the right side for 16 yards to get into the red zone, and then another struggle moment for short yardage, but on third down, Work does achieve a tough run for 5 yards to score another rushing touchdown to extend the BC lead to 28-13. And
Nice.
I also I apologize that I was 1 point off when I recorded my short. I thought it was like 27-13, but it was 28-13. Better, a tiny, missed a tiny typo like that than if I was saying, like, super misinformation, like, oh, it's 40-6 BC at this point. No.
Yeah, 1 point's not a big deal unless you're the Edmonton Elks. They're feeling that right now because they lost 31-30.
Good. Yeah. We'll
But
talk
that
about
didn't
that.
happen in this case.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that at the end. But yeah. Anyways, so yeah, 28-13 game. And then Pimpleton bobbled the kickoff, but returns the ball to the 24. So that was like an oopsie for Ottawa special teams. I'm like, good, more of that, please. Crum converts on a first down run up the middle for 12 yards, and then throws to Addison over the middle again for 20 yards to convert. And then, yeah, here Bradley and I get his first CFL sack on Crum for a loss of 10 on first down. which helps massively because Addison only managed like 6 yards on a check down pass to force Ottawa to punt for like the second time in the game. McGee escapes tackles on the punt return, but he only managed like a few yards. It was driven backwards to the 11, and then BC just decides to just kneel the rest of the half out and
Good
contend with the
call. Don't
lead.
risk anything in that situation.
Yeah, and then I'm quoting because work is locked in, and I watched the halftime show, and Hatcher even said to himself, like, "We're locked in right now. We're
Love it. I
we're
absolutely
gonna
love that.
we're gonna see this one to the end this time. Don't you worry." And they were very much holding us to that. So yeah, third
Um,
quarter. This is like the last quarter where a lot of stuff happens because the fourth quarter not as much.
That's
But
a bit of a snoozer. Nothing
yeah.
really super meaningful.
yeah.
uh,
I'll take over. I just want to say, it's nice that we all watch this game, and it doesn't happen too often. It's not for less of a love of the team, but because we're all so busy. But it's just great that
We
we're
all
all
watched
getting
it.
our
We all watched it live, and I'm glad I enjoyed it, even if it wasn't that
yeah.
stressful at the end.
Yeah, I mean, last game against Ottawa, we were up by 3 possessions, ended up losing that one. This one was much less stressful, as you just said, up 28-13 in the half. Third quarter, we received the second half kickoff as McGee ran it back to BC's 39, and then gunned a second down conversion to McGinnis after a second incompletion was for 15 yards. Then he goes to Hatcher, converting for 13. Toy getting 9 yards on second down to help work get the easy third and short for 7 yards. And then the Lions offense goes upfield as Eberhard converts on a first down catch up the middle for 11 into the red zone. But Katoy drops a TD pass on the left side on the pass for
That
second
was
down.
so sad. That was a bit of a
Yeah,
letdown.
yeah,
yeah, that was really unfortunate.
that would have been that might have been a game stealer like right there too, right?
Yeah,
That's, oh.
yeah, that was really hurt. That's tough. And
But
then
yeah,
the field goal.
I was also gonna say like BC is actually the best team in the league in terms of red zone offense too. So that was especially like
Really,
deflating in a moment too. But, anyways,
yeah. John White, automatic, extended the lead 31-13, and Ottawa got the ball back, stand back, caught, converted for 9 yards, barely. But then on second and 11, after stand back gets tackled for a loss, Crum picks up the ball and gets stripped by Williams Sr., who recovers the ball, runs it all the way back to the house for a touchdown as
Make it
BC extend the
38 to
lead to
13.
38-13. And what did you
oh,
say, Ascent, at that moment?
I said I was still very hesitant to call that a fumble return for a touchdown because I saw like a knee down for a BC player and I thought like, oh no, are they gonna call this one back? But thankfully they didn't, and I was like, it was a little bit of a muted celebration for me, but everybody was going crazy, and I'm like, I felt the energy of that fumble return touchdown, right? Like, I'll take that, over what I lost from potentially like a special teams touchdown, like we had in the last game. Right, I'll take that. uh,
That was just a crazy moment.
yeah, that was the moment where I felt like, okay, they should be able to take this to win this. After that, mm,
My dad even said that to me at the time. He said, "Oh, this game should be over now," and I immediately piled on saying, "Don't say that this early." In the end,
Four
luckily,
no,
they
possession
didn't.
we
lead.
But you
could
should
we
never
could be
ever
up
say that.
we could be up 45-0 and we can still be like, yeah, but they're still probably going to come back at some point. It's just
Yeah, I
uh
don't celebrate a win until the clock says zero when the game's over.
Second half
yeah,
defense. I mean, our defense has been so good in the first half, and they just completely crumble in the second half. So
Yep.
luckily that didn't completely come into effect this game, but I'll continue here.
that was the
As
positive
Ottawa
moment for the
wants,
defense. Yeah.
yeah, as Ottawa got the ball back, Pimpleton returned the kickoff to the 33. They go 3 downs from here with 2 yards from Crum, and he got sacked by Levi Bell, but it was called for a horse tackle to go up.
I want to mention this. My during the game, like I didn't see the replay to confirm whether or not that was a horse collar tackle. So my dad and I were infuriated, right? Because you
Mhm.
know, my dad thought that wasn't a horse collar tackle, but then I went home, I watched the replay, and I thought, oh yeah, that's actually a horse collar tackle, right? But in the middle of the game, like, you know, they didn't show the replay of the penalty. I was mad about that. Like, I wanted to see it.
But they made the right call in the end, and it's just frustrating to take penalties at the worst possible time to wipe out a sack, because not only does it wipe out the sack, but they get 15 and an automatic first down on top of that, and makes me mad. But they won, so I'm
Second
not that
time that yeah, second time that's happened this game. A bit less of those penalties this game, so we had a lot
mad.
less penalty yards than the last one. But David Boye's first touch of the ball is a first down conversion, ran for 12 yards. Then Addison converted on a crossing route for 13 yards. White converted on a catch to the left side after a spin on second down and for 12 yards. And after Hardy's incomplete pass is reviewed, it is overturned for a touchdown with the toe surviving
This is a
contact on the
great
ground.
catch, fantastic
That
catch.
was, yeah, excellent
I knew
catch.
I knew right away as soon as I saw the
Yep.
play in real time. I knew it was a touchdown. I was surprised they called it incomplete because it has shades of that Brian Burnham 2-point conversion catch against
Yeah,
Hamilton in 2018 as that exact same part of the field where he
that's what I
just got
thought
his
too.
toe in. But in this case, it was like his toe was quite clearly in. I'm surprised they didn't call it in real time, but you know what? They correctly reversed it to a touchdown, and that's why we love the CFL, because in the NFL that would not have been a touchdown.
Yeah, because you need
What are you going
two,
to tip
and
your cap to?
yeah, and I was gonna say also, yeah, my dad was infuriated about that reversal because, you know, angry. You get irrationally angry about football games, and me, I'm more like, okay, yeah, I can see why that happened, but
It
dad's
was
always like
clearly it was
irrational.
clearly the right call. It was just unfortunate for BC.
Just unfortunate for us, but yeah, and and then yeah, they tried a 2-point conversion to try and make it
No
a
good.
2 possession game. Didn't go so well. Like, oh,
There's
thank
that moment
goodness.
when TSN was really talking about the crumb back. They were, it
Yes, they're
seemed like they
desperately
wanted
trying
it
to
to
keep.
happen.
They wanted people to keep watching and not turn the game off, so they make their
Yeah.
ad revenue money. And then, well, right
And then
after that, guess
Ottawa,
what happened?
I hate that when
surprise onside kick.
commentary does that. Like, but yeah,
They
I mean,
they've almost willed it
TSN,
into action.
TSN, a neutral broadcast, they got to say stuff like that. But then
a
Ottawa, surprise
neutral.
onside kick. They touched the ball before it was batted out of bounds. So there was a bit of a scramble there and they recovered the ball on, I can't remember, but that didn't really matter because they went 2 and out right after that onside kick. But at
Thank
that
goodness.
moment,
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
was another key
holy
moment
smokes.
for the defense too. Like after that onside kick, I was prepared for Ottawa to score another touchdown after that because that was like a
Same.
shot in the arm for them for momentum. Right, again.
Yeah, I've seen a
Especially
few
after
surprise onside kicks during my time, and they're always deflating. But good job for the defense to step up and make it not matter.
how much the commentators were manifesting the crumb back.
They were
Yeah.
yeah, it's like exactly. They were manifested. They were manifesting up the choke again. Like what gives?
And at this point could happen, but thankfully that didn't. So we got the ball back after the 2 and out. McGee ran the punt to BC 16. Convoy converted on a pass for 11 yards on first down. And then he was down again for an injury. I feel like it's the third straight week that Katoy's gotten injured. So I hope he's all right.
He's turning into
Um,
that. He's turning into that fish in SpongeBob where he goes like he's rolling around like in bandages and everything, and going like every night I can feel my legs.
my
I can feel
leg.
my arms. Oh, actually, no. I'm thinking about the Metal Gear Solid 5 character. Yeah, college. You're going like every night. I can feel my arms, my legs, even my fingers.
I do know the SpongeBob character you're thinking of. That's a funny one.
Actually, the Moai is also from that game as well.
It is. That's the first thing I
Yeah,
thought of when you mentioned Metal Gear.
Metal Gear Solid 5.
Um,
Yeah, so shout out to Konami.
I'd say we've been getting carried away so many times this
Yeah,
episode. It's just been so funny for no reason. Um, and to end the half, the quarter, my
quarter.
bad. Rourke threw incomplete to Barry Hill to force a first Lions punt of the game to start the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
Can't complain about that at all.
when you're having like a punt that deep in your first punt that deep in the game, like your offense is like really clicking. As obvious as that sounds, I mean, like, I'm not used to the offense being like, this reliable every single game, right? uh,
Mm. Fourth quarter, Pimpleton, he ran the punt to 39, and Hardy converted on first down catch for 15 yards. Crum
mhm.
ran to the right side to convert for 10, and then Pimpleton got another first down for 10 yards. Peters and Lewis jawing at each other for the third down play as
They were
Crum.
jawing at each other in the last game too, right? There was it was a little bit of a rivalry though, but uh,
That's funny. Then Crum, first down, Hardy, 16 yards, and then procedure called in Ottawa to bring them back 5. But despite a Hardy catch for 12 yards, helps Ottawa threaten to score. And then Woods sacked Crum as the D line surrounded him for the key turnover on downs to essentially end the game, where you
and I,
stopped note taking.
yeah,
I want to note I
And
stopped watching with 2 minutes left, and then the game was still going on like 15 minutes later for
I had to sit through
reasons
that
I'll
whole
find
thing.
out.
Like I wanted to sit through like that whole game. I wanted to get my money's worth, and I'm like, this could have been an email. This could have been like over, like
literally, I
But
mentally checked
I
out and just started watching reels on Instagram because there's just a garbage time touchdown and that was about it. Nothing exciting.
No.
yeah,
They
at
knew
this
they were
point,
going to lose, and they just still kept
they
wasting
still
time.
kept wanting to like extend the game forever just to inconvenience the fans even more that stuck around and then like, oh, I want to see what else happens. Uh,
No,
yeah, so
Ottawa, that's not
yes,
fun.
yeah, it's not fun to like wait. I mean, I'm usually a very patient person, but to wait around to end the game, I'm like, come on, man, just take your L and go home, man. Just, but yeah, I did put that work does go over 300 plus yards passing, on one of the fourth quarter drives to go to hit like its eighth 300 plus yard game, shoot the clock down to 309, and then, turn over on downs, but didn't matter because, yeah, Butler even tried like to do the Superman dive thing again for that first touchdown he did, but didn't work that time. Uh, Ottawa scored the garbage time TD after, yeah, but I hated this. Like Bob Tice does a sore loser challenge from because Crum had his head slapped by a defender, so he threw like a challenge flag, and I'm like going, I'm not sure if
Come
you
on,
heard
man.
me. Like I was shouting at Bob, like I was shouting at him too. I'm not sure if you heard me on TSM, but I called him like loser, like go home.
Deserved
Technically the right
because we
call,
wanted
but
to.
just kind of poor sportsmanship.
I could have even done the whole Hank Hill thing and go, loser, you're a loser. Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be because you are dirt. Right? Baby, want a bottle? A big dirt bottle? Yeah, I could have gone like that whole diatribe, but yeah, I just stuck with just calling him a sore loser on that challenge, and that also I thought that took away Bet's fourth sack, but it counted. So I guess that's a today I learned kind of thing where sacks still count even if it's negated for a penalty. Um,
Interesting. Well, there you go. But
yeah,
we got the win 38-27 and saved Mike Benavides' job for at least one more
one
week.
more game.
And Winnipeg lost earlier in the day. So big for the Lions to tie them up at 6-7. And Edmonton, in the meantime, has lost, and that drops them to. I'm gonna pull up the standings again here. That drops Edmonton to 5-8,
5-8. Okay.
and the Lions are currently a game ahead of Toronto for the crossover spot. And the Lions do have, if memory serves, yes, 2 weeks from today, they've got a home game against Toronto, so that's going to be another massive game. All things considered, the Lions the must win game, and they won.
what
So
what
that's
what
good.
score was the Edmonton loss by? 32,
31-30.
31 to 30. Okay, I'm just putting that in there just
It's just
for.
back and forth field goals. Edmonton took the lead with like 2 minutes left, and then Toronto won it with no time left.
Oh, that's another like last second victory for Toronto.
Literally.
Again, yeah. So with Toronto winning over Edmonton, yeah, Toronto jumps over Ottawa now, and now they're kind of like, we're hoping that they start to lose games. But I think Ottawa's probably, they're fading quite fast now, right? Like with the loss yesterday and Toronto winning. I mean, although they're kind of hoping Montreal continues to struggle, that could happen as well. So it's like there's still a lot to be
Yeah,
decided with
Ottawa's
like a
only a
month
game
left.
behind Montreal, and Montreal's playing Saskatchewan. That game will be kicking off in a few minutes, and obviously
Yeah,
Saskatchewan will be the heavy favorite to win that one.
exactly. And yeah,
Which
I
that should pretty that a win for Saskatchewan should pretty well wrap up a home playoff game for them too, if not this week, next week.
certainly next. Well, they have to hope Calgary loses one or both of their
We
games against
hope that
BC
Winnipeg loses. Well,
and
because
Winnipeg.
if they win, they'll be at 11 wins, and Winnipeg in third is at 6 with 5 games left. So it doesn't officially seal it, but it effectively seals them with the home playoff game.
Yeah, home in the Western Conference Final, right? That's like their goal, pretty much.
Yeah, if they
I
haven't hoped.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get it because even though Calgary beat them, swept them, I think they're still gonna get it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to. So yeah, we've done our game recap, and I'm just gonna quickly review, like the past games. Like that was on the game that happened on my birthday. So that was like a super Saturday with 3 games, right? Because they don't want to avoid conflicting with the NFL, right?
Schedule up my phone so my computer doesn't die again.
Yeah. Well, we're testing it, but anyway, so yeah, so the September 6th game that happened, so yeah, Hamilton defeated Montreal 26-9. Saskatchewan defeated Winnipeg, yeah, 21-13. I remember
Mm.
that was I believe that was that was a comeback win for Saskatchewan because I was enjoying my Starbucks drink watching that Saskatchewan Winnipeg game, right? And I'm watching it like outside of a fitness studio, right? Like there was a TV that was going on there. I was just standing in front of it, just watching the TV.
Ah, that's
Right?
funny. I've occasionally stood outside of like restaurants and looked inside of for the sports games, and that's funny.
TV, yeah. Well, in this case, it was a fitness studio in like the middle of a mall, and uh, yeah, I waited until like the end of the first half and then I left. Yeah. So yeah, I enjoyed Saskatchewan defeating Winnipeg that time, and of course Winnipeg lost yesterday as well. So they lost 32-21 against Hamilton too. So yeah, they're on a big losing streak too. So we're going like good. Please continue rocketing down the standings. And then yeah, then the last the Labor Day Classic was uh yeah, Edmonton beat Calgary 31-19, but then yeah, then they just lost to Toronto 31-30. So they won one, they lost one, so they're no, but they're down 2 games on us now. So we're like, okay, that's good. So our playoff chances just jumped up quite a bit this week. So we're like, good. Not out of the woods
Yeah,
yet.
we at this point, I mean, the Argos and Redblacks, I mean, it doesn't seem at any point that they're out of it, but we are 2 games ahead of them for the crossover.
We're only
So
one ahead of Toronto because remember, if
Yeah,
Toronto ties us, that's enough for them to take the
we have.
crossover. They don't the
I
like
forgot they won.
the head to head record doesn't matter for the tiebreaker or for the crossover
Yeah,
rather.
Yeah, and I was going to
I
say we have
honestly,
another game with them as well, so that's a very important one too. So,
the
Yeah.
score of the Elks Argos game fluctuated so much. My mind is out of it. But yeah, we basically have to finish fourth or higher in the West, and it's entirely possible. Don't want to finish last.
yeah. So I mean, I guess we'll, well, the Montreal Saskatchewan game is going to be going on, but I will do a little bit of a brief preview about that. Well, yeah, we do think that Saskatchewan's probably going to win that one, but because of how Montreal's kind of playing very poorly down the stretch, but yeah, and then of course Montreal does have Toronto next week before our game, so I want to talk about that too. So, who do we want to win in that game? Montreal, Toronto. I'd say Montreal
uh,
because
yeah, I would say Montreal as
Montreal, I
well.
think, because Toronto's lower.
Toronto's lower. Yeah, I'd say yeah. We want well, yeah. It
Goodness
would
me,
be
yeah,
nice. It would be nice for Montreal to stop Saskatchewan from clinching, but it's not going to happen. So we're going to hope that.
Montreal they've really fallen off.
Yeah,
Injuries, obviously, but yeah, they have.
I gotta wonder if David Alexander might be back in time for the Toronto game, but we'll see. There is little rumblings about Chad Kelly possibly returning to Toronto, but I think Arbuckle leading them to come back one today, that will just like silence that completely out hope.
Yeah,
I
no
never want
doubt
to
They've
about
see that
that.
scored
again.
He's more than
they've scored the
capable.
most points in the league this year. I think he's the guy. It's just their defense that is not it.
Yeah, and he
It's almost
literally
like us,
won the
really.
great. He won the Grey Cup. He was the MVP last year. Why would you want
Yeah.
to through that, right?
Quite literally.
Yeah, and yeah, the last thing on the docket is yeah, we're going to be previewing the BC versus Calgary game next Friday on the road. Oh my God, it's going to be our first game against Vernon Adams Jr. We've circled this game for a long time, and it's here coming up.
I'm not ready for it. It's gonna be crazy.
I hope when he comes back to BC on October the 4th that he gets a big standing ovation. I'm sure he will. But
Sure,
won't you believe he's going to be motivated like we've never seen to beat the team that, shunned him in favor of Nathan Rourke and, in my opinion, didn't treat him all that well. So, you know, he's going to have a chip on his shoulder, and the Lions are going to have to play really, really well to beat him.
They have to play well. I mean, the defense did do due diligence against Ottawa this time, but the mistakes they made, like a penalty that led to touchdown, that cannot happen against Calgary. Right?
No, they'll make you pay. That goes back to the Bo Levi Mitchell days. They would always make you pay for your silly mistakes.
And
So,
especially in the fourth quarter. Those
yeah,
fourth quarter
cannot
comebacks.
happen.
Those fourth quarter comebacks that constantly happened with Mitchell and the Stampeders against us were so infuriating. Like, I called them the Patriots of the CFL. Right? They were just like, it was so often. And now that's kind of transferred over to Winnipeg, although not this year, this time around, because like they've been losing a lot of games. But yeah, anyways, yeah, this is 100% like, if you want to make the playoffs, BC, you have to beat Calgary at least once, right?
Yes.
At least once. You cannot afford to be swept by them, right?
That's
And
what we
if the
said at
Lions
first when we
can come into here and manage to beat Calgary twice, then they could theoretically be in contention for a home playoff game. So
Oh my
that's
goodness,
why the games are so huge. Despite everything, the Lions still have a slim chance to host the West semifinal if they can manage to win both against Calgary. But let's worry about winning the first one, and then we'll worry about the next one after the first one. So for now, all they got to do is go into Calgary and get a win at McMahon Stadium next Friday.
Yeah, it's been a tough ask because last year they lost to McMahon as well, right? So, that was with I believe that was when Jake Mayo was the quarterback for Calgary. So it's like a commonality. We keep just making Jake Mayo look like a god against us for most of the time. There was like a couple of times when he was very mid, but that was like when Calgary limped into the playoffs at like with 6 wins, right? Let's just hope we
those
don't
were
have to do.
dark times.
Yeah, I
Dark
hope
times for
we
the
don't.
league.
Well, it was dark times for Calgary, but I just hope we don't have to be limping into the playoffs at like, well, now it's now it's 6 wins. So yeah, we want our record to be a little more respectable. I want to see like 9 or 10 at
I
least,
just
right?
hope we get above 500 because it feels like we've been scraping our way and we've not been able to go above 500 this year since the first game of the season. Every time we get to
Yeah,
500, we go right back down. So we have a
It'd
chance to do that
be
or to get to
a,
500 next week.
a moral
And
victory if we can do that.
moral victory. Yeah, that's all we have at this point. I mean, it seems.
But to finish the year above 500, we have to win at least 4 of the next 5. So that's going to be hard. But
It's gonna, yeah,
if we get to 500, we only have to win 3 out of 5. So that's more than doable.
yeah, it's run the table mode pretty much if you want to finish
Yeah.
like significantly above 500. But yeah, I'm setting my bar like as low as I can get, right? Because like that's my minimum, right? That's minimum. We want to be at least 500 and in the playoffs. We can go more than that. We'd be feeling a lot better going into it, but like that's the minimum. And below that, like we'd have to absolutely like lose all of our games, and then everybody has to win them, right? Below us, it will be winning, right? But for this time around, luck was on our side, skill was on our side, and a win was on our side this time around, right?
Indeed.
Yeah, luck in terms of like the out of town scoreboard, and then we contributed. So like, yeah, our playoff make with it has like gone up pretty good this week, and I hope it continues next time. So
I hope so too.
We'll be there when it happens. Right
yeah,
here,
all
recapping it.
right here on the Section 214 podcast, like this guy.
Yes, the Moai, our official mascot.
Special mascot, and like I guess this is kind of like our first kind of merch, but
Yeah,
it's
official shirt.
my own personal merch at least.
Hopefully, we'll all have shirts like that one. I think that would be cool.
Oh yeah, that'll be so cool.
Yeah,
We'll make that a
I'm
note.
sure. Yeah, make a note of that, and yeah, I guess that's pretty much going to be it for us today. I mean, we're getting very close to like 4:10. Like, you got to leave for your Whitecaps game pretty soon.
I
But
do. I have to leave in like 10 minutes, so
Well, perfect
yeah,
time to wrap it up.
perfect time to wrap it up. So yeah, like I hope you enjoyed us talking about a win. Finally, it feels like it's been forever since we've felt happy about a team, even if there was like warts about this win that I didn't like seeing in person, and you guys saw like on the podcast too. But still, a win's a win, and like we're just happy that we can breathe a sigh of relief. Just we're not like we're not in clinching territory yet, but we're doing our best to like get closer to it, and we've done it today. So we've done it yesterday, and it happened today too. So
Well
pretty
done,
good.
boys.
So yeah, so I guess for the next episode we'll probably upload it on the Saturday. Yeah, on the Saturday, I think, because that Friday game is
Most
going to be
likely,
at
yeah.
6:30. Yeah, 6:30 our time. So it'll end at probably around 9 around our time. So unless you want to do like a really late recording, but other than that, it'll be Saturday afternoon. We'll be recording again. We'll
yeah, we'll
see.
see. Yeah, see how we feel.
Yeah. So
Indeed.
but yeah, I think by default, like, expect our next episode for the Calgary one to be uploaded on the weekend at the very least, right?
I think so, yeah.
So yeah, we'll see you then. And so yeah, we've got our socials in our description. We've got the Blue Sky, we've got Twitter, we've got Instagram in our description, and like, comment, and subscribe to follow us on our journey to the Grey Cup, hopefully. And yeah, I know, call me wackadoo, but
What
uh,
still? What still?
yeah,
What happened?
and of course, we've got our Gmail account that you can contact us through if you want to, like, talk about the game or the team with us in more long form. So that's the Gmail account at section214@gmail.com. So that's SECTIONTWOFOURTEEN@gmail.com. Glad I got that right. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for us today. So yeah, we'll see you next weekend.
I hope.
So.
Bye.